everybody, welcome to another edition of In the Kitchen with Lisa. I'm personal chef Lisa Spampanato, and today I have got a great dessert recipe for you. This is a recipe that actually my kids helped me create because we were sitting around one day and we're looking for something really sweet to eat after dinner, and I really didn't have much in the house. So we were kind of thinking and talking, and Joey and Matt said, how about a chocolate burrito? So I started thinking. So this is kind of a version of that. Instead of using an actual tortilla, I'm going to show you how to make what I call crepe cakes. Not quite a pancake, not quite a crepe, somewhere in the middle. So again, something really quick and easy with ingredients that you have on hand. First thing we're going to start with is the filling. And the filling is going to be a chocolate ganache filling, which is something really simple that scares a lot of people but shouldn't. Starting with a decent quality chocolate, nothing too pricey, but a little bit better than your average. The Ghirardelli brand is what I use, and you can find them in the regular stores. These are semi-sweet, larger than your regular chocolate morsels. I put some in a nice microwave-safe glass bowl. And then we're going to add some heavy cream, and you're just going to add the heavy cream to just kind of cover the top. You don't want to add too much. You can always add more. Okay, so it's just kind of coated the top, just barely, okay? Then I'm going to cover it with a paper towel and into the microwave in 30-second increments, and I'm going to stir it as we go. So I'll show you what I mean. Yep, I can see the steam coming up off the heavy cream, so I think that's good. Then you're just going to take your spatula, and it looks like it's really not going to mix up well, but trust me, it will. You're just going to keep mixing it and keep mixing it. And eventually you're going to get a nice, dark, shiny ganache. So right now it looks like chocolate milk, but much thicker. Okay. And if you keep going, it's getting shinier and shinier and darker and more cohesive to like what a ganache would be. And this is something that's so easy to make. I put this on top of my brownies when I cater parties, and it's always a hit because it's very rich and sweet, but not too sweet. And it really finishes off a dessert nice. It's also really good over ice cream. Can you tell I have a sweet tooth? The scary thing is when your 8-year-old starts to ask you, Mommy, can you make ganache tonight? He shouldn't know about those things. Okay, that looks pretty good. So that came together really nice. And I'm going to set that aside and let it cool a little bit. I don't want it to be too hot. And I'm going to show you how to make the crepe cakes now and tell you what we have to go in them. So let me put that aside and let me move over here. All right, so we're going to get started making our crepe cakes. And again, kind of a cross between a pancake and a crepe. So a little bit thinner than one and a little bit thicker than the other, and much easier to flip and turn, we hope. So I cheat. I'm going to use some Bisquick Heart Healthy Mix because, you know what, I can mix the flour and the baking soda and the salt and everything, but again, it's right here. So sometimes a shortcut is okay. I've got 1 egg, and I'm going to add to that most of my liquids first. So I've got 1 egg. I'm going to go ahead and add about 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla. Again, vanilla is very strong, so you don't need a lot, but I really like it, so I add a little bit more than the usual person would. Okay, and then I've got here 3 cups of milk. I'm only going to add about half of that to start, and then I'm going to add more later. Just I don't want to make it too thin yet. But this way I get the egg incorporated in there really well before I add my dry ingredients, so I make sure it's blended. And I'm just going to whisk it. So to that I'm going to add 2 cups of the Bisquick, and I already used a dry measuring cup to measure it out into this one. Just this was bigger, so it was easier. And you know what, before I add that, I've got cocoa powder, about 2 tablespoons, and I'm just going to add to the dry mix. And then I've got some powdered sugar, because the powdered sugar is going to blend in a lot easier and melt a lot easier than regular granulated sugar. So let's get this going first. All of our mix in. I'm going to do half of the sugar right now, so that's about 3 tablespoons. Probably add a little bit more. And just kind of mix it all together without making it go all over your counter. Now remember, this is a mixture that you want to be thicker than your regular pancake batter. So right now, that consistency is pancake batter to me. So I am going to add some more milk. I just want to make sure I get all that cocoa powder blended really well in there. Okay. A little bit more milk. right, a lot more milk. And I'm using skim milk, but you don't have to. I mean, at this point, who's counting calories? Okay. That looks pretty good. Now, if this was just pancake batter, I wouldn't be using a whisk, and I would certainly let it sit a little while. But since I'm doing something a little unconventional, we're breaking some rules here. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more confectioners or powdered sugar. It's about another tablespoon in there. I'm going to make sure it gets combined really well. Okay, so we've got our pan crepe or crepe cake mixture all combined and ready to go. What I have here is actually what I requested for Mother's Day, if you can believe it, is a griddle, an electric griddle, and I love it. Since I got this, I make pancakes so much easier now, so I thought it would be fun to kind of test it on this. I'm just going to show you one or two, and then I've actually pre-made a whole bunch of them, and this is a really great idea for storing them, is you can make them in advance and put some parchment or wax paper between them, put them in a plastic baggie and freeze them. So then you've got them for whenever you want. Really quick and easy. Okay, I'm not even gonna grease this with butter or oil or anything because it's nonstick and it's pretty good. So I'm gonna use about 2 ladlefuls. Try not to spill it on everything. Okay, 1, 2. And again, this is my unconventional way of making these. I know that this is not the way the French do it, but you know I'm not French, so it's okay. Just gonna kind of use my ladle to spread it out and make a nice, big, thin crepe. Okay. And you know what? If you ruin like the first or second one, it's okay. I do too. It's normal. Usually the first or second ones are a throwaway, so don't get discouraged. Just keep trying. Even if it takes you the whole batch to figure it out, it's okay. Okay, you can see it's kind of starting to cook through a little bit. Okay, and then what I have here to lift this up is just a very flat, flexible spatula. I use this for frosting cakes too. I'm gonna let it cook a little bit more. And you can see the smoke rising. It's not burning, I promise you. It's just steam coming up. So we're just gonna wait a little bit more. And you wanna be careful not to rip it. I'm sure there's another really good technique for this, but I'm not capable of it, sorry. This is the Lisa technique. Okay, and you wanna be careful. If it looks like it's gonna tear, it's not ready to be flipped yet, so then just pull your spatula out. Okay, so I've got a bunch of crepes that I pre-made and the one that I just showed you how to make, the crepe cakes, sorry. And I'm going to show you how I put it all together. And another thing that's really nice about this is it's really versatile. You can change the fillings. So if you don't want to do something as rich and decadent as the chocolate, you can fill it with a nice jam or preserve that you like a blackberry jam, and then drizzle some chocolate on it. You can put some kind of a cream cheese or a pudding in there. Really very versatile, so you could switch it up. Okay, I'm going to take one of my crepes, place it face down on the plate. And then I've got some chocolate ganache here that we made earlier. It's cooled down nicely. I'm just going to give it a quick stir. And you're just going to coat the inside, not all the way to the ends, but I don't know, about from an inch from the outside. Let me spin that around here and get it all nice and gooey. Now, if you don't want to make chocolate ganache, but you like the chocolate, can you use Nutella? I have. It's really good. Okay. That's a lot of ganache in there. Okay. Now, I have 2 taste testers with me, so I'm going to ask them what they want in their crepe cakes here. Matthew, would you like peanuts?
Yes.
Would you like coconut?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to do peanuts and coconut for Matthew. So I've got here some chopped up peanuts that I usually buy in bulk from the store. Just going to put a little bit in there. Yeah, a little more. Okay. You can put berries in here, fresh berries with chocolate. Oh, so good. Okay, and you're just going to roll it up like a burrito. So you're going to fold one end in, fold the other end in, bring it over. And I'm not going to do this very tight. It's really a very loose roll. And if there's a little seepage, a little leak, just cover it up. There we go. And I'm going to drizzle a little chocolate sauce on it. You could use the ganache too, but this is a little bit thinner. So just kind of like that for a nice presentation. And then some sweetened coconut flakes on top. Yum. Put a little nuts on there too. Just looks really pretty. Could also dust some cocoa powder on there. So there's Matthew's. Okay. Now I'm gonna make Joey's for him. Okay. And Joey, what would you like in yours?
Can I have some of the cinnamon sugar?
Okay. A little cinnamon sugar. Whoops. And the cinnamon is a really nice contrast with the chocolate. That's okay. I'm just going to spread that out. Okay. Cinnamon sugar and chocolate. Did you want some homemade peanut butter in yours?
Yes.
Okay. The kids and I made some homemade peanut butter the other day in our food processor, and it was really easy. And it was just honey roasted peanuts, plain roasted peanuts, toffee bits, and chocolate chips. Yeah, I know, really sweet, but they love it. Okay, and I've got some of that here. So I'll put a little bit of that in. I don't know, I'm really gonna have to mix it in there. Okay. And my kids are gonna be having a sugar rush all day from this. But that's okay, they'll crash and sleep well later. Now, did you want peanuts?
Sure.
Okay. Peanuts on top of peanut butter. Okay. And again, fold it just like a burrito. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Got a little leakage going on there. Okay. And do you want toasted coconut flakes on top or coconut flakes? No? Okay. Okay. And maybe a little cinnamon sugar on top to make it look pretty. Okay. And that's Joey's. So you can see how versatile these are. I'm going to let them do the taste test this time. So guys, why don't you come on up. Have at it. Half the thing goes in their mouth. Was it good? Mm-hmm. Over the plate. Oh my gosh. Can we do that over? All right, so I've got one more. I'm gonna make myself one. And actually, let's put a little cinnamon sugar on this one because I forgot before. Okay. A little ganache in there. Ooh, I can really smell that cinnamon. It smells really good. Nice and spicy and sweet. Okay. And maybe some nuts. Just a few. And again, just roll it up like a burrito. Okay. Let's bring that in. A little chocolate syrup. And some coconut. Okay. Maybe a nut or two. Okay. Let me grab a fork. And I'm going to go have my dessert with some coffee. So thank you for joining me. And if you like this recipe or any of the other recipes, or you even have a question about food, please contact us at viewermail@jtv.tv. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.